Seeing the outline from LGD that we've seen them do time and time again, and OG once again with a bit of that OG magic. It is the mid Thompson Morphling. We've seen it before. We've seen sort of its ability once it hits level 4 to get these sort of kills in the 1v1 matchup. What do we like?
Whew, I like a lot of things coming out here. This Alchemist pick, he's got Aghanims aplenty to be giving around. I also really like this Brewmaster pick with that Venge. The benefit that you can actually do with this, because it's not only just about like this, it's like the team fights. You know, that Brewmaster wants to go in and start the fights for your team, which gives you a lot more liberty in the back, but you can actually set up some pretty decent solo kills with the Brew and just a wave of terror coming through. You actually amplify the damage a lot, and it's a way to protect their egg with this Brew. So it's a nice way that they set up their defenses as they prioritize their whole draft, while on OG's side, they've got a typical OG draft. It's a little bit unique, it's a bit different looking, but it's their style.
The Morphling, I think, has been first banned against them in a couple of games and kind of forgotten, as we haven't seen it too much on the main stage, but they are incredibly good with the Zero.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that that was in Top Sun's repertoire.
It's kind of cool that I see LGD also switching, then they're putting Amaze on this Weaver. So we've seen Chalice playing a lot, of course, now because the Brewmaster's pick, he's going to be playing that one, but a lot of times when they have played this Alchemist, they put that Weaver off lane and they picked a different type of carry.
Decent amount of damage there to Anna done on the bottom lane as he's unable to take the rune. FY does grab that bottom one. As PSG.LGD will get both down there on the bottom lane. As Chalice is up, we'll be able to secure the second down there.
Look at Jerax right now.
He wants that courier. We saw him try earlier with the Shaker. We'll see if he has a bit of a better time with this leaner movement. And how prepared are PSG.LGD? He did do this before, as I say, on the Shaker. Are they watching that mid lane? They're not. He's got it. Jerax taking the Ring of Protection and Salve away from Somnus in that mid lane matchup.
That's actually massive right now, because this is where Topsy can play and try to bully this Alchemist, as he has very, very little regen. It's actually a very smart move when you're trying to play these heroes that want to lane dominate versus an Alchemist as soon as you get some levels on.
And as Ben said, there's already been a lot of teams that have been very scared of the Thompson Morphling. So we'll see how this mid lane goes. Obviously, last game, Somnus on the Kunkka was able to absolutely destroy Thompson's Invoker in that 1v1. And for the whole of the game, Thompson had a very tough time. So we'll see if he's able to bring it back up and perform to the same level that he could do in game 1.
He does have a lot of armor to kind of deal with that physical damage. And it looks like, yeah, maybe is going to be out of luck for quite some time. Not really sure how he's supposed to get too much CS out of this at this point.
Can we expect to sort of see PSG.LGD send someone else mid, or are you already sort of hurting the lane even more if you're having someone sit behind the Alchemist this early?
I mean, if someone dies, you can.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really.
He actually just goes to base. Somnus TP'd back to get some regen. That's pretty huge for OG right at the start.
The power of the courier snipe. They've got to watch out for it, LGD, in these games. We know that Jerax likes to go for that rotation.
He's still ahead in net worth, though, over the Morphling, despite all that, just because of the bounty runes at the start.
Just Alchemist things.
And we'll see how these side lanes go. Is there sort of a particular 2-on-2 here that you feel is going to have quite a difference? Are we going to see one of these side lanes really get ahead early?
I really like the power of the Brewmaster versus the PL. It's just really annoying to play PL because you're going to get Drunken Haze nonstop. You're going to get hit all the time, and you can't really counteract it because you've got these Fire Spirits on you constantly. As Anna already getting pressured.
He's already used the Doppler with the dive. FY, he's got the damage onto Anna, and there's your first blood. As you're talking about how nice that lane is, also top lane. LGD finding the kill here for Arme as they get on top of Jerax. So the mid lane maybe suffering a little bit, but the side lanes, they're getting the kills, PSG.LGD.
Yeah, you can buy a stick as a PL, but you're not really going to be able to get too much CS. He's already getting harassed down heavily.
I mean, Chalice didn't even go for the haze. He just went for the brawler right-click build to just push him down because there's not really support here helping him. They know the lean is top. They know Chen has to wait for that first creep wave to spawn, or first neutral creeps to spawn up, and that actually does clip.
And I guess this is sort of the power having such a strong lane against the PL as well, right? We can expect Notel. He's sort of pressured to really hover around this area. It's very hard for him to make early movements, right?
Yeah, he has to stand there. Look at FY. FY is actually every single time rolling forward and blocking that hard camp, and he jumps pretty low. But that's really important to do versus these Chens. When you know it's a Chen trying to protect your safe laner, just non-stop block that camp. And they've even committed 2 sentries to open it up.
Top lane, a bit of an attempt onto Jerax. Arme backs away. The Light Strike Array is there from Jerax down onto X-Nova. As they'll keep the Venge pushed back. Turns with a wave of terror, but he's got the stick charges, X-Nova.
He lost his self. Jerax did. Lina, pretty low armor hero. We don't see her in the support role too often, but she's sitting at negative armor with that just level 2 wave of terror on her.
Arme bugs out onto Seb. Will not dive for it. Knows that Jerax has Light Strike Array back off cooldown. And that mid lane, of course, with the way that we saw it start, continuing to go strongly in Topson's favor. He's getting revenge for sort of what we saw go the other way around in game 2, with Somnus having that sizable lead. This time it's Topson that's in charge.
And it looks like at least No-Tail does have one of the best creeps to work with, the Satyr. He doesn't have access to the other camp because of that Sentry Ward, but he also will get a Troll.
Topson's going to get unfortunate there with the rune spawn. He's going to be down on the bottom lane. Top lane again, set up onto Jarex with the magic missile. Can't even get the light strike out. The damage is too much from LGD as they go towards Seb at the same time down bottom. Chalice gets chased down by No-Tail and Ana. Seb will survive. The 1-for-1. And obviously down bottom, OG getting that kill onto the core, onto Chalice. And getting that extra bit of money to Ana, who already, despite sort of the aggression, he's not suffering too much in CS on this bottom lane. He's trading evenly with Farmer Chalice, as we can see. 23 for 5 on the PL compared to the 23 for 1 on the Brewmaster.
So important to get that, you know, that Satyr creep like Ben was mentioning. You just add that little more HP regen, it just solidifies your lane much harder, as we do have those bounties coming out. Super important for LGD to get those and OG to contest them, as there's the Alchemist in the game.
See Ana already heading over to FY, but FY is able to grab it in time. Takes it before Ana's able to get his hands on it, and the collapse slow did connect as Chalice chases down Ana. They dive forward with FY as well. No-Tail, can he do anything to get them off Ana? Able to rush off towards the creeps on the side. The Fire Spirit again though. FY with the perfect placement of the Fire Spirits getting the kill. We'll see No-Tail chase down FY here. Is there any way he can make it away? Seems to have that slightly favorable movement speed, but he's into the creep wave, will fall, so FY does go down in return, but we're really seeing FY just push this hero to the limits and cause a lot of issues for Ana.
And I think Seb died on the top lane during that bounty skirmish too. There's just going to be so much contest there because of the Alchemist, especially when you're this far behind in lane. You really need those bounties to help get you back.
Yeah. And the top lane, right, the Wyvern and Lina, you were mentioning how the low armor is there. They're both very low armor. So as soon as they do get hit up by any type of control,
they just got
that damage is just
they die so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the Ring of Protection on the Lina, but I mean, that's just not enough. Especially with the Swarm coming out, I presume that the Vengeful Spear is also going to get a medallion at some point in this game.
Mid. No-Tail walking pretty deep forward into tower. They want to try to keep the siege creep alive. They want to put as much pressure on it in these first few minutes.
Certainly getting a decent amount of damage done, but at the same time up top Arme. Looking towards Seb and Jarex having to play a lot safer now. They've given their lives up a couple of times on this top lane as Arme gets more and more mid lane. No-Tail, he's actually going to take out again. FY and comes in.
Both creeps die as well. FY just got so much experience in mid, as his Alchemist is jungling freely.
This FY Phoenix looking to be off to a fantastic start from bottom lane to mid lane.
I think they were really hoping to get that tower with the Chen creeps, with that one siege creep still alive, but turns out in the worst possible way. And Seb also has an Aquila, so just really all out gunning for armor in this lane.
So with the smoke, we'll get a ward down. So we'll have a bit more better information on the movements as FY will reveal himself to Jarex, diving forward, playing aggressive, getting himself straight on top of him. Does get hit by the light strike array, but he's chasing down Seb and No-Tail coming in for the side. They'll look towards Xnova, but Xnova knows there's no disable. He'll TP out. Another light strike from Jarex is going to be missed as Arme jukes it out, but it doesn't matter. Topson chases down, gets the kill on Arme, and now zaps forward and bursts down FY as well. Topson, with that small rotation away from the mid lane, picking up a double kill on top of already pretty much free farm that he's had in this mid lane for the first 7.5 minutes.
It's level 8. Alchemist is almost hitting level 6, so we see that big advantage coming through, in particular from that courier snipe.
And this is exactly what SVG was talking about with the style of morphing that he plays. He's not necessarily the laking carry. He's out there to create space, put a lot of pressure on towers. And
look at the damage he just hit to FY. It's already sort of FY losing 2/3 of his health.
Yeah, Topson's just such a unique player, right? He has these different ways to look at the game, and with this Morphling, he loves playing it kind of like that Rubik. You're just all about trying to steal spells, turn into other heroes, and use that benefit to put as much pressure as possible early.
FY's got to be careful there. The Penitence was on him. Topson couldn't quite get in range for the burst as FY dives away. But this game as well, right, when you can sort of consider the Morphling, isn't there going to be a point where it's rather hard for LGD's lineup to actually kill a Morphling that's got a good head start?
They don't really have any instant disables for him, so it looks like he should be able to pop his attribute gain at any time. I think all the stuns are going to be projectile stuns.
Yeah, the only one that
gets a blink.
Yeah, that's the big one that they'll have to worry about, right?
Yep. But that's going to be a long time considering the start that maybe has had and this T1 falling.
So G, 8.5 minutes in here, taking that mid-tier 1 tower. Topson, of course, still sitting at the top of the net worth.
Look at OG's wards. They know they need to just not let this Alchemist jungle block the Ancients, block the hard camp, get vision of the other jungle camps as well. Just try to keep tabs on this Alchemist at all times to keep the pressure going.
And he's using a body block with the Satyr camp to block this.
Yeah, look at this.
Bottom lane. They will find out the Primal Split being used to set up to allow FY to come in and offer his help for the cleanup. Another kill onto Ana. Top lane, Arme caught up by the Light Strike array. Do they have the burst? They don't. Arme is able to time-lapse himself back to safety.
Primal Split's going to have a really big impact on this game, of course, versus the PL to remove those illusions with your Wind Panda, but also you can dispel the send back from the Chennets once we get to that point later on, which could become significant.
You can also Cyclone the Cold Embrace heroes too. There's a lot of things that you can do with the Brute this game. Get rid of the PL illusions. It's tough.
They have fun No-Tail top, X-Nova and Arme catching out No-Tail as No-Tail tried to come over into the jungle and find himself some creeps.
They're spreading themselves very thin. They want to control the entire jungle of the Alchemist, but I don't think they can control both.
So they get Arme here. Arme yet to have the time that's back online, but the Shikuchi does save him. At the same time, FY again getting the kills as he's in with the Supernova on top of Seb and finds the Wyvern.
2 for 2 bounties. LGD's all right with that, as they're 1,000 away from that relic on a level 7 Alchemist.
I mean, they don't have a Vessel, though, on the side of OG. I really think you need a Vessel to kill the Alchemist, especially with the Phoenix in the game. And I think Lina was the one that wanted to build one, but because she's had such a rough time, she doesn't even have her urn yet. So, I mean, Alchemist does have a bad time, but so does everyone else, and PL's game is not particularly great.
Chalice, she's coming in the top there with the Haste Root running down No-Tail. No-Tail, he's trying to get out. The Light Strike array from Jerix will not save him as Chalice has already done the damage. Ana does manage to get himself on top of FY, because FY used the Supernova down bottom, doesn't have it back up. So Ana finishes off the Phoenix, goes back towards Chalice. Jerax finds the Light Strike array. Again, Chalice, he doesn't have Primal Split back, but he has got backup in the form of Arme and X-Nova. Ana still in the midst of it all, trying to look towards X-Nova, but Ana's been left alone. They know which one the real one is. Seb is there, but the Winter's Curse! Oh, he's actually going to be able to keep Ana alive for now. Ana turns with the Spirit Lance. They get the kill onto Chalice. Ana doppelgangers down to the low ground, but Arme's quick with a chase with that Shikuchi. Looks towards Ana with a Cold Embrace from Seb, keeping Ana safe against the right click. The Shikuchi damage alone, not enough. X-Nova trying to get in range for that stun, but Jerax, Light Strike comes out. They do get the kill on Ana, though, PSG.LGD, but they'll lose X-Nova for it. Arme has the Shikuchi away as well.
Oh, great swap, though, coming in there, saving his core.
And all the time, Somnus just farming this right side of the map. Thompson is trying to do his damn best to stop maybe from getting these Grievous beat stacks up, but...
Arme. So he can find himself a bit more here. Jerax does have the Laguna Blade available. Cold Embrace from Seb will allow Jerax to heal back up.
They committed so many wards. OG has 4 option wards on the map, and I still think maybe is going, you know, he already has his relic, so I'm not exactly sure how effective it has been. They see him, but they can't really stop him because they just have so much pressure in the lanes. Still, his timing is going to be pretty decent. He is still below the Morphling in net worth.
Yeah, and Thompson's been farming very, very well, and also looking for those aggressive plays. 95 last hits and 29 denies, as he constantly is walking up onto those high grounds looking for some plays, but Jerax just melts.
Yeah, he was going for the D ward there, but the quick wraparound from PSG.LGD catches him off guard. Bottom lane. TP's coming in as No-Tail was trying to put some pressure onto the tier 1 tower. Does have the backup of Thompson as Thompson comes through. Looks at FY, but FY gets the Supernova in time. It doesn't matter. The attack speed from Thompson too good as he punches down the sun. They've got the Winter's Curse holding Arme in place. He does have time lapse, but the stun comes through. Thompson has the control as he picks up the double kill. Thompson going up and up in this game.
Great heroes to replicate.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, he's going to have so many options, honestly. I was trying to look through all of them because I've seen him, he has taken, a few times I've seen him take the morph targets allies too, and the morph duration when he's played it. He's all about just making those plays around the map.
Yeah, I think stealing Concoction is great, stealing Venge for that huge damage is also great. Weaver for the Shikuchi, there's just so many things that he can do.
Yeah, and he can he has a lot of ways to if he does turn into the Phoenix, and the Weaver, he has so many ways to get in and out of the fights over and over again and save his waveform. As the Radiance comes out at a pretty damn early timing, 13 minutes after getting just pushed to the jungle.
Absolutely, yeah, considering the start the Somnus had, he's certainly recovered in that aspect. His bottom lane, they looks to set up onto Thompson. They do get the magic missile off before he starts his ship, but he's still able to do so after the stun wears off. He's building the HP up. Seb, can he do anything to help Topson here? Topson tries for the TP, but he won't make it. The damage from LGD enough to take him down, as now Seb potentially in trouble too, as he looks to get himself back underneath the tower. Jarex goes for the light strike, right, but Arme keeps his distance. Seb with the self-cold embrace. He's being sent back as well, but they kill him off in time. He's not getting home tonight, and neither's Notel, surely. The magic missile from X-Nova. They've still got the primal split, chasing down the Chen. The stun comes through. Light striker Raven Jarex will not hold back LGD, as PSG.LGD find 3 members of OG.
Woo. Close to getting a Cyclone off, but no cigar.
The overall team for an LGD is just a bit stronger. Even when they don't have their Alchemist getting a Vine, their 4-man is very, very potent versus the 4-man of OG. They need Topson to pretty much be alive and well inside of all those fights, because the PL can't really get involved with this team yet until he's got that Diffusal Blade finished up. And
he just seems very overwhelming as well from LGD. They've got so many heroes just looking to get on top of sort of the vulnerable heroes like this Lina, like the Chen on OG. You've got this Weaver getting on top of you with Shikuchi. You've got the Brew just charging in immediately. You've got FY diving on top of you. So many ways that they can exploit the vulnerabilities of OG's heroes. The Supernova comes out. Jerax tries to turn, but he's in trouble. Army's there with a wraparound. Can they kill the Supernova in time? They can. Seb gets the final touch through. They get the trade. X-Nova's there as well, but so's Topson, so X-Nova's got to be careful. Zip forward from Topson. He's got the physical damage here. One more touch will do it. There's the zap, the stun, buying time for him to close the gap. X-Nova's still alive into the trees, but he'll come back out and Topson will find it.
And 2 for 2 bounties, so Notel is at least prioritizing that, but Notel is actually only level 5 in this game, and the next lowest level is level 8. So he's not really contributing too much into the fights beside his creeps at all. Doesn't have that heal available to help them either, as Somnus continues just to farm, and the Blink Dagger is, of course, that next choice of item, that lockdown that they could actually catch on that Morphling if he's able to blink right on top of him.
And a lot of pressure will be on Seb then on this Wyvern to sort of make the big plays with the Winter's Curse, with the Cold Embrace, when they have this Alchemist threat just jumping on top of hero after hero with the concoction. As top lane Notel been found by Arme. TPs will come through. There's no way to save him. Notel gets taken out by Arme. Topson turning into the Weaver there, seeing if he could chase down a support kill in return, but PSG.LGD, they're already out of this top lane.
Really, it's such a lack of control in this game coming out also from OG's lineup. They have to set up. We've seen them do this before, of course, during the group stages with the Wyvern, but they're really going to need some big curses coming out for Seb in the mid game soon.
It's been really tough for them because LGD's heroes are just way more tanky.
Yeah.
Double sentries. They get the vision for the Winter's Curse. They have that setup available. Jarex clarity up, so he has enough mana for the Laguna Blade. Gets the kill, and now X-Nova tried to come in to look for some sort of a swap play. He'll go for the TP out, won't make it. They'll get to a Chalice. In with the counterplay, jumps in with a clap, bursts down Jarex, but they're on top of him. He's out of mana. He can't cast the Primal Split. He's trying to run himself away, but they chase him down. OG get 3.
That Diffusal Blade came in right on time. Looked like he didn't have enough mana to cast it, to finish it.
Yeah, he jumps in, gets the clap, and then there's just too many illusions. They hit him really quickly one each, because you heard him do the noise, too. He's like 3 of it, and then just stops because of the mana burn.
And they're into the pit now as well. 16 minutes in, still the net worth standing very even due to this Somnus Alchemist still sitting at the top. But Topson keeping himself very close to the farmer, Somnus. As this Roshan will go the way of OG, Topson grabs the Aegis. And will continue to have a very good start to this game at 17 minutes.
I believe he has a full Manta style on top, too, with that Dragon Lance. This is a very, very strong Morphling. And with this Manta, too, he can play around even easier. That Venge stun is going to be a lot harder to land, so disjointing the Alchemist is a different thing, but versus that Venge can definitely work out.
Yeah, you mentioned OG not having that much control, but I think LGD are going to have control issues versus this Morphling in particular.
Yep. On bottom lane, FY. To get that final Fire Spirit, so Jarex will be able to earn himself back up, but we're seeing sort of just the solo potential of FY going around the map with this Spirit Vessel. It's a very dangerous map for sort of the supports of OG to be out on alone.
Do you like that Jarex is going to be just going back for the Eul Scepter rather than finishing the Spirit Vessel, Ben?
I think Spirit Vessel is just really important for them, but at the same time, Topson is in the back line, and he's not really going to get that much support from the Lina, so as long as he stays alive, he can maybe do enough damage to kill this Weaver like we just saw. So. Well, it looks like maybe is going to start to try and join the fight.
Topson tries to get in here. Just touch attribute shift into the strength, so X-Nova and Chalice will both back away.
He's putting up the pressure on, though. He's forcing back 2 heroes of LGD, but LGD seems okay with this. I mean, their Alchemist is farming, their Weaver's still farming top as well.
Yeah, he does have that blink, but let's see which time he deems is the perfect moment for him to go in.
Mid lane Chalice pops the Primal Split, finds himself Notel, send Topson up into the air. X-Nova's coming in from the side. Can they get more members of PSG.LGD in to look for the fight, though? Topson's going to be fine. As he's pretty much up to full HP down bottom at the same time. The eggs actually come out from FY as they're beating into it. Can they kill him off in time? They can't. FY gets the supernova successfully off. He's playing around with the three of them here. Jarex tries for the TP out. Oh, but he ticks down at base. FY gets the kill on Jarex and he gets the kill on Seb. FY.
What? He's level 12 so early that they couldn't actually kill off the egg because of that.
Goodness. Level 13 now off the back of that one in mid lane. Thompson turns into Chalice, jumps in with a clap. The swap's there, but it won't save him. Doesn't destroy the right click as Thompson claims Chalice's life. Maybe they can find more as well. They'll close in onto Nova. The stun from Thompson, buying time for him to come in. Back into Chalice's brew he goes, and a quick slap finishes off another.
Somnus had no interest in even trying to help his teammate. Just continues to farm the creeps, doesn't pop the chemical rage, nothing. Ame either, just putting that pressure on that top.
Yeah, I think he wants to try and surprise Thompson, but not when he has the Aegis.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's bottom lane, Ana getting the space to put some pressure on. At the same time, up top, we saw Ame starting to do a decent amount of damage to the top tier 1 tower. Chalice finally having that Midas online. This top lane, Jarex and Seb, looking to see if they can find some sort of a setup. They do in fact, have the Winter's Curse and the Laguna Blade, so they can look for that burst combination if Ame steps forward too far.
That Midas pickup seems pretty... I actually kind of like it, because he can keep his levels up, because he's the big playmaker on this team to make space for that Weaver and the Alchemist still, so he wants to be able to stay getting boosted up in experience in particular, not wanting to show and farm in lanes. And the stun actually connects on Ana, is keeping out bottom.
Same time up top, Ame's trying to go towards Jarex, but Jarex has the backup of Seb. It's a half kill for Ame to find. The Johanna God comes out, and Ana, he's falling, he's down, he gets taken out. They get on top of him, they find the PSG.LGD. Can they find anything more? No tail. Being chased here by Somnus. Somnus will turn his attention towards the Mud Golems, continue to keep those stacks high of the Grievel's Greed. As Thompson instantly looks to put the pressure on mid, trying to draw PSG.LGD's attention away from that chase down bottom.
LGD are just doing an excellent job of fighting away from the Morphling, away from this Aegis, because they know they can't kill him twice. It's just simply not worth it for them. They'd rather go for the squishy targets. All these supports are super easy to kill on the side of OG.
The instant split.
Yeah, it does force the split out here from Chalice. TPs are coming through as well. Thompson does have Seb close by. The stun comes out with the primal split. There's the cold embrace from Seb. He's got that ether lens, that extra range to get in. FY's coming in from the side with the sunray, that percent damage. Thompson pops the Manta. He's still fine. This primal split struggling to deal with the Thompson. It's Thompson. He's fine. In fact, now he's looking to fight back. Goes straight in onto Chalice. There's the swap. The Winter's Curse holds the two of them at the side. Thompson looks to Chalice. The missed chance. Keeping Chalice alive, but the Splinter Blast is there. They get Chalice. Thompson back into the brew. He's got to be careful. The cold embrace from Seb's there. Healing him up. Thompson back into the Morphling form. He's fine. Somnus has now turned up to the fight, though. With the Radiance, chases down Seb. Jarex tries for the light strike with the sidelines. FY with the Supernova. Thompson, he wants to try and take down the sub, but the concoction's there from Somnus. They'll get the Aegis out of his hands. They do lose the Aegis. Can they kill him a second time? They're on top of him. He's able to waveform down to the bottom. Ana's there as well on the PL, ready to try and offer his attention to the fight. Thompson teeping away. They have no way to cancel it. Thompson will escape, but overall PSG.LGD able to take a successful fight there. FY just getting off that supernova as it looked like Jarex was about to finish it, but Jarex, he was killed just in time by LGD to keep FY safe.
And they got a stun out on the Morphling. He went for a build without any Lincoln, so he's actually quite vulnerable to this Alchemist stun, and maybe doing a really good job of just waiting for that perfect moment. The Curse was down, most of the spells were down, and Morphling's Replicate was also down. I think that's super important to wait for as the Alchemist in this game. So what do you think of the Brewmaster going for Ags? Normally it's what, like Radiance first, and then maybe if someone else has Radiance, you go for Auras, but he's going for the Ags, at least on his quick buy.
I can't imagine he finishes that, right? He's got an Alchemist on his team.
He's got an Alchemist.
But I think Vengeance is more important.
Yeah, there is a lot of good Aghanim upgrades on LGD's lineup.
I think he's actually the worst of the other four.
That's a good point. Maybe that's why he just wants to try to get it at this timing so that he can use his abilities while he's in his split as well.
He's really good about using the Dispel. I think that's what separates the good brews versus the very, very awesome brews.
Intriguing.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. You just don't see Ags early that much.
Maybe because the auras, the thing is, like, he's got a Venge, but the Venge isn't really farming. We've seen the Venges go Vlad's a lot of the times, but with the Brewmaster, you would think he might go for those type of auras in this game, but...
Yeah, I thought like Venge would go more like Solar and Glimmer, and then the Brewmaster would go for the Vlads and AC.
Yeah.
That's generally what we see.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He's still saving his gold though. He hasn't actually bought any of the components.
Yeah.
No side, Chalice. Straight on top of No Tail. No Tail pops the hand of the god, but the primal split is out. They're ready to fight here, LGD. We'll see if OG can get themselves out of it. Notel's going to fall. Anas charges in straight away on top of Nova, and with the diffuser blade, he's doing a lot of damage to Sunray. From FY, though, keeping Xova alive, but there's the counterplay. Thompson giving some sun-on-sun action here as he dives forward, does get caught out by the concoction, but he's back into the morphling form. Arme coming in for the side. They pop the supernova, but Ana straight on top of the egg. Can he kill off FY in time? No, he cannot. The supernova successful. Ana gets caught out by the stun. And again, PSG.LGD coming out on top of these fights as FY sort of against all odds. He keeps getting the supernova off.
Did he miss a few times because of the radiance? It looks. I think I saw a couple misses coming in there.
I mean, FY is just playing out of his mind in this game.
Yeah, this is one of the best Phoenixes I feel we've seen here at TI. That's bottom lane, Arme. Looking to Seb. Seb's underneath the tower. The Chalice is coming in. Do they want to dive for this? They certainly do. Chalice jumps in. As the TPM will be cancelled, Seb will be left to die. As PSG.LGD get away with the kill. 32-19 now, favoring LGD in a 7K net worth advantage. Somnus now climbing up a healthy 5K ahead of the Morphlings farm.
It seems like LGD's every single time they want to take the fights, they have their ultis available. They have the Bruce Split. They also have that Supernova, and they're doing a great job of protecting it. While on OG, their team fight's not as great. It's a lot harder for them to actually get all those spells off. They need the Curse to be very perfect for the Lina to get the follow-ups.
And originally, we thought that Lina would be a pretty good counter to the Phoenix. You know, long range here with a lot of attack speed. But when she's thrown into this support position, she really just can't survive long enough to do enough damage with this egg. And it's been popping every single fight.
As 4 bounties go the way of PSG.LGD with that Alchemist.
They want to find Thompson here with this jump concoction. Can they find it in time? No, Thompson with the Manta Sal, and he's out of there. The Magic Missile connects. Oh, he did start to morph. In fact, he's gone into the bench. That's going to cost him his life. As he morphs into X-Nova, doesn't have that attribute shift going, of course, anymore, as they can burst him down and get Thompson off the map for 70 seconds.
That's such a big momentum swing for LGD. They claim 4 bounties. Immediately, right after that, they kill the most important hero on the map.
Does go for the illusion here. Anna's still alive for now, but they find the magic missile. There's the Winter's Curse. Seb trying to buy the time for Anna to get out of there, and it will be enough. Anna standing in for the side. Does he want to go back in? FY dives in. Supernova's out. Cold Embrace is actually going to cause issues for Big Daddy Notel as he's stuck underneath the egg. Somnus on the side with the BKB. He's going to be able to keep himself alive against the diffuser blade. Damage of Anna. Anna on the retreat. Doppelganger's back up in a second. We'll see if there's any way Somnus can try and chase as Anna goes for the TP. He's ticking down to the Radiance. The Urn's on him, but he's back in base. He will be fine. The TP off just in time, so Anna will live.
Middle tower has fallen.
But again, they're getting away with so much now in these fights. We're starting to see Somnus really getting involved in each and every one of these team plays, and they're breaking further and further ahead, PSG.LGD, as Arme looks to finish off another tower up top as well.
Yeah, there's just such an overwhelming amount of team fight now for LGD in comparison. The Curse is there, it's decent, but they don't have a follow-up. The Lina's not able to get in position for it.
And Thompson was dead the whole time.
And
they took a fight when Thompson was dead at the very, very start of the fight. And yeah, the Curse was very, very good, but absolutely no follow-up. And Ana, he can only do so much at this point. His net worth is roughly half the Alks.
And he does commit. He's got it complete now. 26 minutes in. That's got to be, as you say, something that we don't see every day on Brewmasters in this meta.
It's pretty cool with the Earth Panda getting the Thunderclap too. It's going to be easier for them to find the real PL in a lot of situations. Kind of neat.
Being able to Drunken Haze, perhaps,
yeah,
when the egg comes out. I mean, it does offer a lot of value. The problem is, it's generally just too hard to use.
It is very tough.
3 more spells or 2 more spells, you already have enough to worry about. Well,
Somnus. He's in towards the pit. He jumps in, gets on top of Notel. Cold Embrace will buy him some time, but the rest of LGD's on their way over. Notel's gone. As they were looking towards the pit now. But OG's got to be careful around this area, as PSG.LGD will be more than happy to fight with the sun nearly back online. Concoction from Thompson on towards Alme, but he has the Lincoln Sphere. Time lapses to the side.
This is a very hard area for OG to take a fight around this Rust Pit versus this Phoenix, who's already been getting Supernovas off nonstop, has a full Shiva's Guard on top too, almost level 18 too, and a full Octarine now for the Alchemist. They're smoking. They're looking for a fight. Level 20 on Alchemist too for that concoction talent, or the damage on the concoction.
And everyone's trying their best to help with the egg. They can swap heroes out. They can try and stun them as much as they can. And with the Shivas, if they commit for the egg, I think they all die.
I think so, especially if he hits level 18.
So close.
It's going to be 3 more hits. They've already been suffering to really take that one down. The courier at least kills. The courier gets killed there by some PL illusions, of course, for OG.
Can OG get towards the pit? Somnus straight in on top of them. They try for the man to start dodge, but it still connects. They do get the Winter's Curse down on top of X-Nova. So X-Nova gets beaten down by Somnus. They'll get the light strike off, but Jarex is dead. Thompson's on top of. He's diving away back into the more form. Arme's hot on the chase. They've left behind Ana as Ana taken out. LGD, they've found 3. They're looking for more. Arme continue to chase down Thompson. You've got Somnus finding Seb on the side. Cold Embrace is only going to buy him some time as Somnus has another concoction out and ready to go. PSG.LGD finding 4. And OG just seemingly unable to deal with the pressure, the pace that they're playing with as they're into the pit, and there's nothing that OG can do about this one. 18K advantage.
That's exactly what Fog was talking about. Like, you can't fight that around the pit. They were clumped up way too much. She Yule's dodged a stun, but it also just hit the Morphling, and that's the way you started the fight, with your Morphling getting very long duration stun by Out.
And they didn't even have to use it. They didn't even use the Supernova. It's still available. The curse coming out onto the Vengeful Spirit, so they killed a Venge, but it doesn't really do too much for them. It's this game really slipping out of OG's hands.
Did you see the Brew Axe? Did he use all those spells?
I saw a clap. I saw an extra clap. I don't know if I saw a Drunken Brawler or a Drunken Haze. It's very hard to see all that in the midst of everything. I definitely saw a clap, though.
That's a crazy item choice to go for, though. I never would have thought to go Axe at this point. But, I mean, their forte is team fight, and OG seems to be like, oh, yeah, maybe we can win team fight if they outplay him in some sense, but Chalice has just been destroying them with this ult. The PL also can't do anything. They can find out which one it is almost immediately with the help of the Brew.
Yeah, I mean, that's Ana ran in and just died instantly in that last fight. He could not contribute much to his team at all.
Oh, he's a little bit deep here. They just get the light strike onto Arme, but FY with the Sunray just lasering him down. Gets the kill at the same time. No-Tail falling. Thompson, he's trying to fight back here, but there's a lot of backup from PSG.LGD. He does manage to burst down X-Nova. But Chalice, Arme, and FY, they're hot on the chase for Thompson. He's trying to retreat. Is there any way his teammates can save him? It looks to be pretty much alone. He'll turn with the stun onto Chalice, but Chalice eats the cheese. Thompson's up to the high ground, goes for the TP, the Sunray. Somnus in with a blink, finds the kill.
He's just, every time too, he just gets Spirit Vesseled, and then Spirit Vesseled, and then Spirit Vesseled again. FY every single time being able to find him. And they have so many ways to close the gap on him now with all of his items and this advantage.
And Somnus, he's starting a little earlier sort of on the Aghanim purchases than we've seen from some of the Alchemists. Well, I said he is incredibly farmed across the moment. 27,000 net worth on the Alchemist. The first act nearly on the way.
He's 607. There's nothing threatening him anyway. Might as well just give some other help to his teammates.
And Thompson forced to buy back now as LGD up to the high ground onto this tier 3 tower. At the same time, Ana up top will find a tier 2, but mid lane, Somnus goes for the stun onto Thompson. The tier 3 tower being beaten down by Somnus. The primal split as well from Chalice helping them push onwards. They Cyclone up Seb on the side. Arme, FY looking towards No-Tail. No-Tail's gone. The Chen falls as LGD claim themselves the mid-melee racks. As they'll now start to back away. Top lane, Ana is hiding. X-Nova's coming, TP's coming through as well. We'll see if they can find Ana. The magic missile juked off nicely. The Manta-style dodge from Ana's there.
They know he's
up
there,
but Arme, he's hunting. The doppelganger down, won't remove the bug. He goes for the TP out, but anywhere to stop it. They have X-Nova with the swap, cancelling the TP. Ana's stuck up here. Arme will continue to play around with him as Ana could doppelganger around. Ana does actually manage to find X over there with the illusions, but he'll pay with his life as LGD, they catch the rat. They get Ana after Ana desperately tried to put the pressure on that top lane whilst LGD were pushing down mid. But LGD, they get both. The Brax and the successful defense.
And now an Aghanims comes out and he gives it to the Weaver. They haven't killed this Alchemist once. How will they do it with an Agh's time-lapse coming in the back lines too? OG having 26 deaths between their two supports, suffering so much in this game to be able to find good positions as there's so much team fight from LGD.
And pickoff too.
And pickoff.
FY, he killed No-Tail, I think, just his first 2 spells and a vessel.
So they can burst down Chalice. They've got the setup with the Winter's Curse. Somnus is coming in for the sideline. Look at just Roger. The Laguna Blade comes through. It's enough. Chalice got. Can they get anything more? Thompson turns his attention towards Somnus. Somnus pops the Manta style. No-Tail. He's in trouble. Arme's on top of him with that Mionis. So much damage coming out for the Weaver. Somnus jumps forward. He's on top of Thompson. Thompson has the Alchemist form at the moment. He's cooking up his own concoction here as Seb being chased. He gets himself into the trees. Cold Embraces out. X-Nova's there on the high ground. Magic missile. The magical nuke's enough. The blink out, but Jarex, he's surrounded. Arme goes towards the shrine. Jarek's desperately trying to heal up, but the damage from Arme will be too much. They lose another in mid lane. FY just beaming down the middle with the Sunray, chasing back Seb. Thompson's down for 100 seconds without buyback, and Somnus, he's into the base, diving in with a blink cannon, trying to fight back and push them away, but the mid-racks get cleaned up by LGD. They're onto the tier 4 towers. They know that Thompson doesn't have buyback here, and they're abusing that as much as they can.
I think this has got to be one of the best Phoenix performances I've seen from FY. He just bought so much space for Somnus and is just wreaking havoc all across the map.
He killed 2 heroes by himself earlier when that was, yeah, FY definitely having an all-star performance
and again,
here.
the supernova by the base. They are going to try and kill it. Can they kill it off?
They can't get it.
They just can't kill the sun. As a buyback from Notel comes out, but the H is exposed. Notel immediately dies after buying back. The Winter's Curse is there onto FY. Will it kill him off? FY is still alive. FY, he'll finally fall. The Dragon Slave for Jarex finishes him off. He'll buy back those. He knows this is LGD's chance to claim this game 3. Somnus continue to beat down onto the H, but the Light Strike comes out. The Aghanim's time, that's from Arme, keeping Somnus safe. He gets a concoction out into Jarex. He's looking to dive towards the fountain as OG are still able to play around it, but the damage from Somnus. In goes Chalice as well with the Primal Sprinters. They beat down on the Ancient. PSG.LGD looking to close this one up, and they will. Game 3 goes to PSG.LGD. As another pretty smooth and solid performance comes out from them. FY Phoenix, absolutely remarkable. The sort of the early axe prioritization by Chalice working out as it was just team fight after team fight, and a fantastic recovery from Somnus as he struggled at the start against Thompson's Morphling, but down the line he made the comeback and he was pretty much involved in every single mid-game team fight.
They played so aggressive with their numbers. Every single time it's just like 3 or 4 heroes were turning up, taking these fights. 21, 3, and 15 on Ame. And that was the Weaver that I feel like we weren't even talking about it too much. He just had this free reign in the backlines because of how much space the Phoenix and the Brewmaster were able to make inside those fights.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, 2-1 now for PSG.LGD. This series just heating up that little bit more each and every game.